Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm your host, Kara. Today, we're going to make some LED mushrooms, a little fairy mushroom lights. We're going to enjoy ourselves today with some Astara colors influencing our design today. We're going to make some mushrooms out of hot glue, some beautiful moss, some gnarly pieces of wood, collect some crystals involved here, some selenite, some all kinds of fun little objects that you can put into your sculpture. Join me today and let us have some fun with some pagan crafting. So the supplies today that we're going to need are super basic. Some string LED lights, the wire kind, some alcohol-based felt pens or alcohol-based ink, some parchment paper, some hot glue, some gnarly piece of wood, some moss, and some dried flowers if you want. Now this piece, I love it. Oh my gosh, I've carted this piece around with me for many years. I can't even tell you where I've got it. On some beach somewhere, because the amount of sand that keeps coming out of this is unreal. Even though I patted it out before the video, some still falls. It is a gorgeous piece of something that needs to be loved. It needs to be, I don't know, but we'll find out today. I've had crystals on this. It has lived on my altar. It has lived on my mantle. It has been a bit of everywhere. I've had figurines on this, but now it's going to have some selenite on this. I've had this piece for a while. I bought it to go with a staff. I was like, I need a Gandalf staff, and this is going to be in the center of it. Another project that I've never finished, but this channel is forcing me to get all my collections together and force them. I can't get over it, how perfect that fits there. But all my projects are coming together here, I've definitely noticed. I'm so excited how well that fits. This happens to be a little bit too wobbly for me, so I think it needs to be a little bit of a base to glue onto it to hold still. Now, depending on the piece of wood that you need, you may or may not need this. I'm just using a piece of little extra wood. I was making some pendulum boards for the channel, so I bought a few of these, and I thought, hey, I could use this and then just decorate it with some moss at the end. I'll just hide the wood with the moss. Yeah, we definitely don't want that cruising around, because if that selenite ball falls out and smashes and breaks, I'm not sure if I'm going to glue it in yet. So I really like things that are quite interactive. I got ADHD, so I like dioramas and things that I can pick up and look at and play with and talk to and stuff like that. So this would be definitely, I would have to have the ball to be interactive. That works out just great. I can take that off later if I want to and mount that onto some pieces of wood. Now, just using some wire LED lights. You don't want the kind that has a plastic filament all the way around it. We want to be able to manipulate the wire itself, and the wire itself that we're going to bend to our will is going to be in the mushroom stems, and the light itself would be just so under the cap. So again, we're going to use the wire type. Holding the LED in your hand, you're not going to burn yourself. These are not hot and they won't heat up. You can even paint them, glue them, you can put glue on them, you can put acrylic paint on them. It's not going to bubble up and it's not going to overheat on you. You could even have them under moss and everything, and it's not going to upset the moss or burn the moss or cause any fires. That is what is so great about working with these little lights. So you're going to take the tip and you're just going to hold the top of the LED light in your hand and just twist it around the base. You can make them as long or short as you like. Now adding a little bit of glue to where you're going to adhere it into place onto the wood first, and then it does take a while for the glue to cool down, but once you kind of got one glued down, then it's easier to get the rest on. Now the ones on the back I've made quite a bit longer, so in between my spaces, instead of just wire, I actually have LED lights. So I'm going to be gluing moss along the back to hide those lights because I don't want those to be shown. Now another thing you can do is you put glue down, put the LED down, put glue over top of it again, paint it black or like a dark green, then put your moss over top, and it'll really hide the light quite a bit. Now I'm just going to have a little pool of lights for the back. And the little pool of lights is going to light up my selenite there. Now I'm just doing a little cluster, so they're not straight up the back. A couple little clusters of the lights. They're going to look so cute. Oh my goodness. We're going to add a second set of lights. This time I remember to have a second set, so I didn't have to go all the way back to the store to get $1.25 lights and spend my time and money on gas. Oh my goodness. So I'm just going to feed the wires through. I got a nice little hole here, so I'm going to keep those ones in the back nice and long, and then I'm going to string these ones through. I'm going to do some shorter little guys throughout the inside and then cascading down to the front. Just giving a little adhesion, adding a little bit of glue to the back to hold that into place. And just slowly working towards the front. I do have some coming in down into where the LED lights come in the front. There we go. It's going to light up that selenite. Kind of looks like an eye right there. Oh, it depends where you turn it. It'll light up brighter or not. So I think, yeah, I'm going to keep this one free flowing for sure. And then again, just holding the top of the LED and just twisting, holding the base of it, and you can make them any length or size that you'd like. I'm going to put some smaller little dudes throughout here. And you can pre-twist some of them and then just lay them down however you want, or you can twist as you go so you can figure out if you need a longer, shorter. I'm going to be putting quite a bit of small little guys in here, just using a pencil to hold it down so I can squeeze that glue in. And I'm going to put some teeny tinies in here, and I think that'll look really adorable. And there we have it. There is our skeleton of our mushrooms. Now we're going to take some parchment paper. You could use some wax paper as well. The wax paper sometimes sticks, but the magic of parchment, it comes right off. Like it just, nothing sticks. It is wicked. So some people will use glass or plastic to put it on, but I'm telling you, parchment paper, it peels off, it just cools it, nothing sticks to it. So you can pump it and you can create a bubble for the small ones, but you do have to kind of draw a circle to create them. And look at that, they'll cool down so quick on the parchment paper. I made some of varying sizes, from really large for the tops of the long ones. And I made some little bitty baby ones too for inside. I think it's good to just have a variety. I made a bunch of extras instead of having to do without. I'd rather keep the creative flow going. Now, I would have to say we need to use alcohol-based felt markers or alcohol-based ink. Acrylic will look really nice, but it won't see through. Watercolor won't take on it. It'll just bead off. And this one takes on so nice. And now I want to give a little shout out to a lovely little pagan fairy, and her name is Lily. She picked the colors for this. She picked the Tinkerbell green and the blue to go with the Tinkerbell colors. So I just want to give a little shout out to our pagan friend Lily for picking the colors for this project. I could not make up my mind. So she helped me out there, and I just want to thank her there. So next what we're going to do is I'm going to take the darker blue and just add some nice little spots and dots. I was going to do white spots, but they'll look dark underneath the light. They'll look nice when the lights are on, but they won't bright up. I need to get some glow in the dark paint is kind of what I need for my next project. Okay, for our next step is we're going to create the stem of the mushroom. We're going to use hot glue to build up around the wire of the LED lights. So try not to get too much glue on the end, because the more glue that they have in the end, the softer the light will be. We want to keep it nice and bright. And you just want to slowly build up your layers. This will take some time, but it will be definitely worth it. So you want to build up one side, let it cool down, go to some other ones, and then come back. You could also use the tip of your hot glue gun if you take off the plastic part to help mold it and kind of heat it up if you get some bubble bits on it. And then just take your time and build it up, and this is what you'll have at the end. It doesn't look like much, but you're not going to see it. There's going to be moss. We're going to hide all the wire, and we're going to have some beautiful tops on the front. So our first steps, what you want to do is hide the wire. So depending on where you placed your mushrooms, just see fit, free flow, and have some fun with it. Using hot glue, or you could use a super glue as well. But I like the hot glue because it cools down so quick, and I can keep moving pretty quick on my projects. And here I'm just using tweezers to pack it in. You could also use some skewers or some chopsticks. End of any little stick and just tuck it in, and it will help you from casually burning yourself as well. And again, now just building it up as we go. All right, next we're gonna add is some purple flowers, and these ones I like to just some of these little tips, some if they fall off, you can put them throughout the moss as well. These ones just a little deco ball of grass, and I thought I could take it apart and use those too. You could use them in a whole cluster or take them off and use them individually, just for some little added extra color and flavor in there. And we're going to be adding some little wishing crystals, some beautiful little quartz crystals to amplify the energy of the room, whichever room I decide to place this in. That'll just boost the vibe. So you can break these ones off and use them individually, and let's just have some fun. Place them wherever you'd like. Just using the tips of these ones and squish them in between the moss. Doing the same for the little purple flowers too. I wound up just cleaning off the little leaves for these ones to keep it more miniature looking. And I was able to squish them down into the moss a little easier that way too. So next up what we have is we're going to put in our little quartz crystals. So these ones I have them around the base of the mushrooms and to amplify the look of some of the grass sprouts and the flowers. And those ones you can put wherever you'd like. I like little clusters of 3 to 5, little odd numbers. Now next we have is the mushroom caps. Now a little trick is to press in a little indent before you put your blob of glue, and that's where your little LED light will sit. And it'll also glow a little bit brighter that way too. Now you can choose as many colors as you'd like. I went with just these two, and with the purple flowers, a little bit of an Astara Tinkerbell theme. And there we have it. Again, just place them however you wish. I tend to tip them forward a little bit to hide the look of the LED light. And turning off some lights, let's have a little look here. You can turn the selenite around to see however you'd like it to sit, or whatever kind of crystal you'd like to use to light up. This looks pretty fun. I'm pretty stoked of how it turned out. Let me know in the comments down below what colors you choose for your mushroom fairy lights. If you like this video, throw me down a thumbs up. If you wish to see more videos like this, throw me a subscribe and ring that bell. I would love to see you with our future videos. It was awesome hanging out with you today, and I wish for you an absolutely magical day and happiest star.